Let's start building our input fields. So instead of just having a static one that always puts in Flanders and Canada, we can input whatever we want, or the user can want. So it's now dynamic. That's what I wanted to say. Right now, I'm just going to move the button because I don't want it to be at the actual bottom of the page. I'm just going to put it at the top here. So I'm going to do an H1 and just write all to-dos, and then put my button after this one, so it's a little bit more easy to create a new one. So we will have this at the top instead of at the bottom. So scroll if we have many ones, right? Makes a bit more sense. Good. So after the button, I'm just going to create a break real quick. So we have this between our fields here. I'm going to do a input field for the next one here. So input, and this will be a break here as well. This is probably not the best way to type out the code, but whatever, it works. So in our input field, I'm going to create a placeholder for text. So if I just click save now, you can see it's empty, right? But the placeholder can be something where we can just type in a author, for example, in this case. So it will just have author before you click it and type something in it. So whoop, that's just a little extra thing. It's definitely not necessary. So in this input field, that's fine. We're going to also assign or bind some data to it. But before I do this, I'm just going to create a span here. And this will be a testing place for just to make sure that the data is being binded correctly within Vue. So for binding data, there's two possibilities. We can use one-way binding that only sends data, or we can, oh, maybe it's receiving, I can't recall, or there's two-way binding where you can both send and receive data. So I'm going to use the two-way binding of vModel here. And I'm going to name this new author, like so. And I'm going to do the same down here. So I want to use the interpolation. Oops, that's the wrong key on this keyboard. So I'm going to use interpolation to print out the information I want, in this case, new author. So I can do this and save, and we can go check the browser, and when we do something, nothing comes over here, right? We don't get any errors either. So for this to work, we need to also create a variable where this will be stored. That's important as well. So usually, if I didn't have a inputted composable here where I also have my state with all my data, I would usually have a let state equals stuff in here, and then you could create the variable inside of this one. But since I'm importing it in with this one here, I'm going to go to where I have my state over here, right? So my state, my ref, my new author, as you can see, I already have it here. Yours probably looks like this. So inside the object, I'm going to do new author, like so, and I'm just gonna leave it blank, and of course comma separations like this. And then we will go save and go back to use Vue and go test. So we'll probably still have a little issue here because this data was supposed to be binded here, right? But sorry, but right now it's trying to look for a variable just called new author. But right now this specific one is inside state, so we need to declare that one as well. So it's state.newAuthor, I'm going to copy this, and state.newAuthor down here. So whenever I do my test now, you can see it's here and we know that it's working. So I'm just going to copy paste this input field here because it's just faster, because we need two. We need one for author and we need one for a to-do, right? And instead of new this, I'm going to call this new to-do item. And I'm going to copy the name and put it down here. And then, of course, I'm also going to add new to-do item here. So we have it, oops, both places. So we can just do a quick test. So we have it here and we have it here. And you can see these are not connected, even though it's close. I'm just going to start with something else. So we have these two here, one for that's v binding the data from this one and one that's doing for the other one. I'm just going to do a quick break here. So like this, very nice. It's so pretty. I know. Thank you. So in the next video, we're going to set up how we actually send the data through our REST API. So we get this one for MongoDB.